Episode 6!
Hey, we're moving up in the world. I mean, not a whole lot, but hey,
We made it to episode 6 and didn't give up.
yeah, that's saying something.
That really is saying something for us. We have so many dead ADHD products buried in this house.
You have no idea.
Just me alone, man. I could start a thrift shop with my dead crafts.
Listen, there's a whole segment in our basement that is designated for her craft supplies that she insisted on having, and now they're just sitting there.
I mean, I still craft.
You do. I'll give you that. Hey, not to plug or anything, but if you go back in time on our TikToks and our Facebook and stuff like that, you will see some of Cassie's artwork. And I got her a cricket for Christmas one year, and she did some stuff on there. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, email us at tatwmay1@gmail.com.
I mean, if you could fucking say the email, right?
Well, yeah. If I could talk, it'd be great. But no, seriously, you want to reach out to us on Facebook or on email or TikTok, it doesn't matter. One of us will find the information. If you're interested in some of our crafts, go ahead and let us know, and we will try to get it to you somehow or negotiate something.
I mean, I was telling you, I saw that website, like, where you can scan your artwork into the computer and post it on that website and sell prints.
Right.
I've been thinking about doing that because, I mean, I do love painting so much.
Mm-hmm.
But full-time job, husband who's gone 5 days, fiance that's gone 5 days a week.
Speaking of that, hey, just so everyone is fully aware, because I have noticed in the past on different podcasts that, like, they don't explain really why they don't do it week to week or, record week to week. I have personally found out why we need to record in advance. We are planning for our wedding ceremony on Halloween 2023. So aside from the fact that I am a truck driver, gone 5 days a week, Cassie has her own work.
I work 5 days a week, yes.
5 days a week. And 2 kids that have their own shit going on. Like, we have a busy life, and it's 10:15 at night, and kids are in bed finally, and we're just now sitting down to record only like a week in advance. So
yeah, we're trying to get prepared for our honeymoon. However, we still really want to record for our honeymoon because we're going to New Orleans.
Right. And I was considering this. I was like, maybe we could go ahead and get ahead. However, save that episode, which would air, we could either do the night before our wedding, or we could do the next week while we're actually in New Orleans. Yes, I said New Orleans. I am from the South. We could record while we're there on something from New Orleans. Because, I mean,
there's so much we could talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and
Madame LuLaurier. What's the voodoo queen's name?
Madame Laveau.
Just voodoo stuff in general. And, like, the conspiracy about the things that happened with FEMA during Katrina and all kinds of stuff.
Did you know there's a vampire legend in New Orleans?
There's also a true crime that happened during Katrina.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that definitely is a thing. But, so
I know of one story, at least, that I could definitely, that's a good one.
Right.
That I could tell about, but yeah.
All right, well, we're going off a little outstretch here. So
but this is supposed to be the introduction.
It is. So, do you have any updates?
No, not really.
No?
Not until I get into my segment.
Okay. Any disclaimers or trigger warnings?
Mine's gonna be all about some death.
Just death?
Yes.
Okay.
There's gonna be dead people.
Good to know.
Yes.
All right. I don't have
with
any...
their deadness.
Huh?
With their deadness. Sorry. I'm fucking weird.
All right. I don't have any disclaimers because you'll see what I'm about to do, but there's nothing really to be concerned about. But I do have an update. I fixed the radio, thank you.
Yes, you did.
I did.
I love you.
Took me a minute, but I got
all day.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
To be fair, I let you sleep in pretty late for your usual.
Hey, I got home at 4:00 in the morning. Okay, so waking up at 7 was just not happening. Because our son likes to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, or 6:30, and then like do this weird thing in the baby monitor until you come get him.
Yes.
It's annoying.
It's what babies do.
But he's not a baby anymore. He's like into the toddler stage.
He is not even 18 months old yet. He is a baby. He's not even 16 months old yet.
You know what, though? He's walking around and he's saying, oh shit, when I walk in the front door. So he's somewhere. That's our updates. That's our disclaimers. And
the intro.
That's the intro. All right. Well, let's get into this. All right, my dear. What is this that you have for us?
So, before I get into this, I wanted to talk about myself a little bit.
Oh, boy. I don't think we have all night, dear.
Oh, fuck you. Not that I feel the absolute need to explain myself, but I wanted to talk about why my interests are the way they are. Obviously, you, Stuart, you know.
Oh, yeah.
About this stuff, but for my listeners, gather around, if you will, while I tell the tale about myself. I'm done. The end.
Oh.
My parents were in their 40s when they had me. I've said that before. So they are of the baby boomer generation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My parents are big-time products of the hippie movement, hardcore liberals, pretty progressive, supporters of civil rights, equal rights across the board. And I'm a millennial who, well, you guys know, we literally have grown up in the emotional damage apocalypse era. But, yeah. I am a big believer in if we forget history, we are doomed to repeat it.
Agreed.
I was raised to fight against the man and oppression. So, as a result, I have some pretty fucked up interests. Like, Bailey Sarian's Dark History is my bread and butter. I mean, I love anything Bailey Sarian.
I bought her a t-shirt that's Bailey Sarian.
Also, by the way, I called my mom and my dad and talked to them both about the Son of Sam after I saw that documentary. They both think that I'm crazy, and they don't believe the cult theory.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. I was like, there's proof. Whatever. Anyways, I'm always looking into some fucked up shit going on in the world on TikTok, and it causes me to spiral into an anxiety attack sometimes. I'm so interested in cults and serial killers, not only because the mindset of a cult leader and a serial killer is fascinating to me, but the only way to stop killers and stop cults is to raise awareness.
Yeah.
The more people talking badly about a cult, the less people they're going to attract, you know?
You hope.
But those topics can be really heavy at times. So I decided to focus on something a little more lighthearted this episode. I was going to call this my Dumb Death segment because I watched this show called Horrible Histories. I think it might be canceled now.
Dumb ways to die. Oh, sorry.
But it is a British show from the BBC, and they have a segment called Stupid Deaths where they talk about some people who died dumbly in history. Yeah. And that's where I got the the inspiration for this from. But I'm not really sure what to call it. I don't think Dumb Deaths fits it quite right. So whenever I need a break from the heavy shit, I'm going to pull out my 43-page long list of unusual deaths I found and focus on a few of those.
To tell you about this thing, like, we started at 9 o'clock this morning looking at this, and we have this game called Stupid Deaths. They match quite a few of them on the cards, and then we also have, like, extra cards. But she has literally been scanning this thing all day long, doing extra research just for this.
Yes, because I'm excited about it. This list is on Wikipedia. It's in order from the beginning of time to the present day. I did actually do research on these. I'm not just reading a list from Wikipedia. And I plan to add my own deaths to the list that I find out on my own.
Wait, when did you die? And no. You said deaths. That means like multiple times. So, wait a minute. I am not marrying a zombie.
Anyway. I like doing things in order. So we're going to start with BC.
For those that don't know, that means before current era. So before the 0.
So, Menes is how I'm assuming it's supposed to be pronounced. MENS. 3200 BC. This is widely debated in the archaeological community, of which I am not part of. So here's the scoop. This is what I could find. He was Egypt's first pharaoh who united the north and the south of Egypt into one. Again, widely debated, not 100% proof that he was actually the first pharaoh. He introduced the worship of the gods and the practice of sacrifice, as well as more luxurious styles of living. He was an important guy. So,
Okay.
he was also at one point credited with being the inventor of writing in Egypt.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
There was also a story where he was attacked by his own dogs while hunting, and he fled across a lake on the back of a crocodile, and in thanks founded the city of Crocodilopolis.
Say that 10 times fast.
Crocodilopolis. So he sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Also very well accomplished man.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
What?
For our audience, we have a, how do I say it without activating it? We have an Amazon device in our house that is relatively close to where we record. If you ever hear the voice, I will be deleting us activating it so it doesn't activate your own. But it'll be us asking how to pronounce or Google something without Googling it.
Anyway, Menes reigned for either 30, 60, or 62 years, from what I could find.
All right.
And he was carried off and then killed by a hippopotamus.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
God. Okay. That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, hippopotami are like
They're very dangerous.
very
animals.
dangerous animals
They
for herbivores, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. To 564 BC,
Time warp.
Sherman.
Zoom.
I love Sherman and Mr. Peabody. But
Yeah.
anyway, Arhichion
Uh-huh.
was a champion pancreatist. Pancreatist.
He had,
Pancreatist.
he had a thing with his pancreas.
In the ancient Olympic Games, from what I can tell, pancration was an unarmed combat sport mix of boxing, wrestling, kicking holds, joint locks, and chokes on the ground, making it similar to today's MMA.
I was just about to say that, so
Yeah.
it's MMA.
Yeah. Arhichion was known to be the most famous pancreatist wrestler of all.
He's the most famous pancreas.
He was known to be the most famous pancreatist.
Pancratiast.
Pancratiast.
Pancratiast. Pancrast your ass?
I'm not going there.
He was the winner of the 52nd and 53rd Olympiads in the sport. He died while successfully defending his championship in the 54th Olympiad.
Oh, okay.
So I am so sorry if I'm not describing this the best, but I will post photos of it on our socials. So our boy Arhichion, I'm going to call him Archie because I can't fucking say his name.
Works for me.
So Archie's opponent was like on top of him from behind him with his legs wrapped around his waist. And Archie was down on his knees in almost like a downward dog pose.
So they were wrestling.
Yes, and he was on top of him from behind with his legs wrapped around his waist.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm tracking.
The unnamed opponent, because that is all I could find on him,
Okay.
yeah, also had his hands around his neck at the same time, like I'm assuming like this.
Yeah.
But I also saw depictions of him having a hold of both of his arms like this.
Outstretched
At one
behind
point.
him.
Yeah, outstretched behind him. Yeah. So when Archie was like stuck like that, he like thrusted up with his back to try to get out of the hold. And he either dislocated his opponent's ankle, but in some stories they say it was his toe.
Either one hurts.
Yeah. And so his opponent was trying to say he was done, he was giving in.
Yeah.
But at the moment that he said he was giving in, he broke Archie's neck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he died. So they claimed Archie's the victor, even though he broke his neck, because the other guy surrendered from the dislocated ankle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a horrible way to die.
Yeah.
Just snap his neck, even though, match is over. Oof. I mean, it was back in the day, so.
To 6th century BC.
Okay.
Milo, a famous ancient Greek athlete. There are several legendary stories about him. He was a 6-time Olympic victor, once for boys wrestling in BC, the 60th Olympics, then 5-time wrestling champion at the 62nd to the 66th. Milo kept competing even well after what would be considered an athlete's prime back then. At the 67th Olympiad, he would have been 40.
Damn.
Milo was a follower of Pythagoras, and he commanded the Crotanian army that defeated the Sybarites in 511 BC. And when he was during that battle, he wore his Olympic wreath and dressed like Hercules in a lion's skin, carrying a cub. So Milo was a badass.
Okay.
But he also sounded like he kind of had some small dick energy, because he liked to, one, hold out his arms with his finger outstretched and challenge people to attempt to bend his little finger. 2, he would stand on a greased disc and challenge people to push him off of it.
Okay.
3, he would hold a pomegranate in one hand and challenge others to take it from him, and no one ever did, apparently.
Bullies in high school.
He would train on the off years by carrying a newborn calf on his back every day until the Olympics took place. By the time the Olympics would take place, he was carrying a 4-year-old cow on his back.
Not gonna lie, I actually know some Marines that did some dumb shit like that.
Yeah. He carried the full-grown cow the length of the stadium, then would kill it, roast it, and eat it.
Hey.
Milo's death will become a popular subject in art in late Italian Renaissance sculpture, because the sculptor could really show their skill in sculpting the male anatomy on him, because he was super buff.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a picture. So Milo's death. Legend has it his final test of strength came when he was traveling along the countryside, when he met a villager trying to split a stump with a hammer and wedges. Milo was like, yo, what's up? Can I try to split that with my raw strength, bro?
I doubt that's what he said.
The villager was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go get some food. Yeah. So Milo immediately puts his hand in the crack where the wedges are and is just going for it. Well, in the struggle of him trying to do this, the wedges fell out and his fingers got stuck.
Captain America did it better.
And he couldn't get them bitches out. So he's just stuck there with his hand in a tree, as one does. He's just waiting for the guy to come back with food to help him when wolves show up and eat him.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, they were hungry, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah. Do you want to see the picture?
Sure.
I put them in my notes so you could see them. So that's the wrestling.
Oh, okay. So if it's literally like high school and professional wrestling style, it's kind of hard to just describe it, other than player 1 is on all fours facing forward. Player 2 is wrapping his legs around his waist, has his left arm grabbing player 1's right arm and reaching back, trying to kind of headlock him. It's complicated. You'll see the picture.
Yeah, if you go look.
Yeah. But
that's the picture of Milo. They really depict him as really old.
Yeah.
But he would have only been 40.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine a really buff-ass Santa wearing a loincloth.
Stuck in a tree.
Stuck in a tree.
With his fingers just stuck in a tree stump.
Oh God, I didn't see that. Yeah, it actually is.
His fingers are stuck in a tree stump, and there's wolves underneath of him.
Oh damn!
Like he's like kicking them away, like get away from me, bitch! And he's got his like hand out.
It's a very dramatic pose for that.
Yeah. 455 BC.
Oh shit!
I mean, this guy's name, it's kind of the way it's spelled, it makes me want to say Achilles, but I know that's not it because it's not how Achilles died. And Achilles was legend, I think.
Achilles heel.
Yeah.
The Achilles tendon. Yeah.
But it's spelled Aeschylus.
Hang on, let me turn up our Amazon device and find it.
I pronounce that Aeschylus, but I'm always working on how I say things and I might not have it right.
Aeschylus. Maybe. Okay.
Got it.
An ancient Greek playwright who is often described as the father of tragedy. He was likely the first playwright to present plays as a trilogy. He worked in a vineyard as a young adult until allegedly the god Dionysus visited him and told him to focus his attention on tragedy.
Ooh.
He
well,
was
hi, Lucifer. Our cat just showed up. Sorry.
He was also a decorated war veteran in the Persian Wars. Homeboy, I guess, was also in a cult called the Eleusinian Mysteries.
Don't ask me.
It was a cult based on his hometown. He apparently revealed some cult secrets in one of his plays. And on one account, it was said he was attacked by an angry mob. And on another account, the audience attempted to stone him. When he was taken to trial, he pleaded ignorance and was acquitted because the jury was sympathetic of him being a war vet. He gained that sympathy by showing the jury the stump of the hand he lost in battle and claimed to be voted the bravest warrior at that time, which was actually false.
Yeah.
Anyways, in 455 BC, he was in Sicily visiting the city of Gela. When he was killed by an eagle, which had dropped a turtle on his head, thinking his bald head was a suitable rock to crack open the turtle for the eagle to eat.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Bald joke.
Pliny the Elder, a Roman author, wrote that whatever his name was staying outdoors to avoid a prophecy that he would be killed by a falling object.
That's such a terrible bald joke death. God.
August of 210 BC.
Okay. By the way, that does not match August of current time because the Julian calendar changed.
Yeah. Qin Shi Huang. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Ooh, let me see. I've been studying Chinese here recently because of future test. Okay.
Qin Shi Huang.
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 Huang. Huang. Yeah.
Qin Shi Huang.
Yeah, that's about right.
Was the founder of the Qin dynasty and the first emperor of the unified China. The two previous rulers of China went by king, so he was the first to take the title of emperor in China.
Ooh, I think I've heard about this guy.
He expanded the size of China greatly during his rule. He also enacted major economical and political reforms. He was said to have banned many books and executed many scholars because he had almost all previous books burned and all schools of thought shut down, which included Confucianism.
What an asshole.
Yeah. He incorporated the diverse state walls into the Great Wall of China.
Oh.
Yeah. He built
that's fun.
He built a massive national road system. He built a city-sized mausoleum for himself, guarded by a terracotta army.
Yeah,
That's where you've heard of him from.
I've heard about it. Okay.
He standardized the Chinese weights and measures. He standardized currency in China. He also standardized a universal writing language for China, which was part of the book burnings to get rid of the written texts in the languages he deemed dead.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was all about killing culture, apparently.
Apparently.
Yes. Qin Shi Huang had many assassination attempts on him throughout his life. As he got older, he desperately was looking for the fabled elixir of life to gain immortality. It is said that he died at the age of 49 by ingesting several mercury pills, believing it would grant him eternal life. How'd that work out for you, buddy?
Like mercury was actually, well, still is, but used to be an actual medicine. And I mean, I wonder why people died so fast.
But this is another story that they have no proof is true. He may have died of old age, but he was only 49.
Hey, listen, up until like even the 50s,
People were dying that young, yeah.
yeah,
Commonly.
your quote unquote old age was maybe 60.
Yeah.
So, it may have been possible that 40 something was old age. And I don't know.
Right. I mean, anything that's happened in BC is kind of hit or miss because
Yeah,
a lot of
transcripts
in England at least, I know for a fact the only people that were allowed to write were the monks.
Yeah.
It was against the law for you to learn how to write. To 163 BC.
Oh boy.
Elazar Avaran. Fun name.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find anything about this guy's life, so he's getting an honorable mention. He was killed at the Battle of Beth Zechariah during the Maccabean Revolt. Alazar identified a war elephant that he believed to carry the enemy's king in it. Because of the elephant's special armor, he decided to go under the elephant and stab it in the belly. Well, the elephant subsequently, I'm not putting that word in my fucking notes again, fell on top of him and crushed him to death.
Oh,
and he also lost the battle. It was all for naught.
Wow. That sucks.
So, 20 AD, Claudius Drusus.
Okay.
Some question if this story is real or not. He may have been murdered, possibly. Also could not find a lot of info about him, but he was the son of a future emperor, Claudius. He threw a pear into the air, catched it with his mouth, and then choked on it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now we're in the Renaissance.
Oh, hey, there you go. That's a fun time frame.
Yeah. St. Lawrence, 258. As a deacon in Rome, Lawrence was responsible for all the money, basically, and distributing it to the poor to help them.
Robin Hood.
But this was back when it wasn't money. It was like gold and gems and shit. Okay. The Roman Emperor Valerian ordered he give up all of the church's riches. He famously asked for time to gather all of the riches up for the emperor. When it was time for him to show up with the goods, he showed up with the poor people he helped and said, "Behold in these poor persons the treasures which I promised to show you.
Oh, okay.
To which I will add pearls and precious stones, those widows and consecrated virgins, which are the church's crown." The emperor was so pissed that he had a gridiron prepared with hot coals beneath it. Then he had Lawrence put on top of it.
Wow.
The legend says that he suffered pain for a long time. Then he cheerfully declared, "I'm well done on this side. Turn me over." He then got his patronage of cooks, chefs, and comedians.
Nice.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Middle Ages.
Okay.
There were a lot more people on this list that I eliminated just because it wasn't that interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, and because some of them were children dying tragically, and even though it might have been an unusual circumstance, it wasn't lighthearted to me. So,
right. Yeah, she's trying to keep it a little on the light side. So.
Yeah. All right. So, this is my favorite one. Sigurd the Mighty, the second Earl of Orkney.
Say that 10 times fast.
Sigurd was a leader in the Viking conquest of what is now northern Scotland. Sigurd defeated his enemy, Maelbricht, in battle. So he decided to tie his severed head to his saddle as a trophy.
Did he get bitten by
one of Mael's teeth grazed against Sigurd's leg. The wound later got infected and caused him to die.
Oh my god. Did you know that...
I forgot to write the date down on that one. I'm sorry.
Did you know that that's one of the theories of how Genghis Khan died?
Really?
Yeah. Because he would do the same thing. He would behead his enemies to show as proof that, hey, I'm all powerful. Yeah, that's a theory. Nobody actually really knows how Genghis Khan died. So.
November 30th, 1016.
Oh,
Edmund Ironside. Just really like that name. King of England for only a month.
wow.
There's a little bit more to that story, but he was allegedly, now there's no proof of this story. He was allegedly stabbed while taking a poo by an assassin hiding under the loo.
Oh, what a shitty death.
The story can't be proven, so it's just an honorable mention and an excuse for me to say poo.
Yeah.
The Erfurt latrine disaster on July 26, 1184.
Another shitty experience.
Yes. Henry VI, King of Germany, held an assembly in the Petersburg Citadel in Erfurt. The combined weight of all the noblemen caused the wooden second-story floor of the building to collapse. Most of the noblemen fell through into the ground floor cesspit, and about 60 people drowned in liquid excrement or suffocated from the fumes of the decomposing waste, while others were crushed by falling debris.
There's a modern tale of that, actually.
Yeah. This is another honorable mention. These are just short ones that I really couldn't find any information on or weren't necessarily true. Edward II of England was rumored to have been murdered after being imprisoned by his wife and her lover. They claimed to have killed him by shoving a horn into his anus and then shoving a red-hot iron into it, burning out his internal organs without marking his body. Which, A, for creativity. However, there is no evidence to this being the truth. It has been argued that the story is made up.
Okay, whether it's made up or not, did you know that that's actually a real punishment they used for being homosexual?
Why are you holding your nuts?
I'm not. I'm cringing. Anyway, it was back in pre-medieval and medieval era.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, for being found to be homosexual, they would light you up with a rod. Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, I want everyone else to cringe as much as my butthole hurts right this minute.
I'm sure their buttholes cringe too.
Oh.
Charles II of Navarre, known as Charles the Bad, January 1st, 1387.
How bad was he?
Suffering from illness and old age, was ordered by his physician to be tightly sewn into a linen sheet soaked in distilled spirits. The highly flammable sheet caught fire and he died from his injuries. It was said that his death was God's judgment upon him.
I'm on fire.
And that was it.
Nice.
So that was my first segment of something deaths. I haven't figured out what I want to call it.
Listen, some of those weren't funny. That made my butthole pucker, alright? Oh, God. Alright, well, let's move on to mine so we can get a little bit lighter. Ugh.
Hey, this was funny to me.
Your sense of humor has some questions, my opinion. Okay. Okay. My turn.
Can I get a, oh
No.
yeah? Oh yeah.
But what about a fact of the day?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm a dumbass. That's my fact for the day. No, I'm just kidding. I forgot to write down the year for some fucking reason. But on the date that this episode drops,
Which is when?
June 26th,
Okay.
Monday, same-sex marriage became legal in all 50 states.
Woo!
The Supreme Court voted 5-4.
It was when Obama was in office. That's all I remember.
Sure. I don't know. I just thought it was something interesting.
Yay!
So do you...
Happy Pride!
Uh-huh. So do you want to tell everyone what your favorite animal in the whole world is?
Octopi!
And we all know that I've done the Kraken.
Yes, you did.
Did you know the state of Oklahoma has their own octopus cryptid?
Ooh, what is that?
It is called the Oklahoma octopus.
Ooh,
So original.
so ready.
So it's a mysterious creature said to live in 3 separate lakes.
Okay.
Lake Thunderbird,
Cool.
Ulaga. I know I pronounced that wrong, so one moment.
Insert pronunciation here.
Ulaga, pronounced Ulaga, was also spelled Oalaga prior to Oklahoma's statehood.
So Ulaga. We'll go with that. And the third lake is Ten Killer. Like, octopus are considered quote-unquote living fossils.
Mhm.
At one point, these lakes used to be a very shallow sea, which is the preferred habitat of an octopi.
Mhm.
So it's possible. And sometimes, like I said, they can be found in brackish waters. So, which is easy to see where, if they were to survive however long, to go from brackish water to freshwater, evolutionary, it's possible.
Right.
Maybe.
Plus, they're literally geniuses.
Yeah. Some refer to a giant catfish being mistaken for this octopus. For those who don't know, if you ever go noodling, which is sticking your hand in a hole and letting a freaking catfish bite your arm as bait, them tentacles wrap their whiskers literally wrap around your arm, and it can feel like an octopus wrapping itself around you. It's can be terrifying, but very fun. As of 2004, there are only, quote, 2 cases of escapes from the Oklahoma octopus.
Okay.
Both unnamed people felt the tentacles, which kind of runs back to the jellyfish theory. They were kicking and screaming to fight it off, but both people had, quote, bite marks, not suction cup marks like you would find in an octopus. Kind of,
Anticlimactic.
yeah. Now, to tell you where the possibility could have a real cryptid there is the creation of the lakes, and why yes and no. Because from 1947 to 1952, the Illinois River was dammed in Oklahoma. This created exactly 2 types of lakes, which are these 3 lakes. Very crystal clear water lake, which makes it really hard to believe that there's a cryptid.
Cryptid?
Yeah. But the other one is super murky and absolutely low visibility. Like, you couldn't dive down and see your hand.
Yeah, like the water's here.
Right. Now, Lake Tenkiller is 12,900 acres, or 5,220 hectares. Trying to be all inclusive, because we Americans. It is 20 square miles, or 51.8 square kilometers, and it has about 130 miles, or 209.2 kilometers of shoreline. It is one of a few clear lake waters in Oklahoma. It's the optimal situation for scuba diving destination. But like a lot of people would say, you probably would have seen it by now. If there was an octopus, any octopus in that lake, surely you would have seen it by now. Lake Thunderbird, locally known as Lake Dirty Bird, there you go, here's your murky water. It's filled with red sediment, so red clay.
Right.
So that makes it really hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reddish brown. Kind of throws it off. But it's 6,000 acres, approximately 2,428 hectares. In central Oklahoma, it's a very popular recreational destination, which also leads to the high number of drownings and disappearances.
Mm-hmm.
Extra reasons that many skeptics believe that the octopus doesn't exist at all in Oklahoma is that octopi only reproduce once. 1% of their 200,000 eggs will survive. That's not a lot. And the lifespan of an octopus is only 1 to 5 years. Males die immediately after having sex. So it's a one pump chump. Yeah. But females...
No pet octopi in my future?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
But the female, which is even sadder, they only live long enough to make sure their children survive. The ones that did survive, they make sure that, hey, you learned how to eat. You learned how to survive. Okay, now I'm kicking the bucket. It's not a great thing. But that being said, their population of octopi grow extremely quickly. So realistically, by now, we would have seen it. Somebody would have had proof of it, especially divers in clear water, and there's such a high population of them in all around the world. Octopus can be found everywhere.
I love them.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
So, yeah, I don't know. It was a fun one. It was, I couldn't really find anything this week that really kicked my interest. So I decided to do something for Cassie, and since she likes octopi, I found another cryptid octopus.
I love you.
I love you too, baby. I know it was extremely short and a lot of blubbering information in the middle, but it was something.
He was cute.
Yeah.
You want to hear some more stupid deaths?
Not this time. How about we wait until next time you get overwhelmed with your other stories?
Okay.
All right. That's all I've got on the Oklahoma octopus.
It sounds like he's not real, which makes me sad.
Well, I mean, that's what makes it a cryptid, because you don't know.
I want one.
All right.
Damn it, Stuart, you forgot the word of the day.
Of course I did.
Conversation.
If you don't know what conversation is, oh, that does not say conversation.
It says conversation.
Uh-huh. Would you like to ask our Amazon device?
It says conversation.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
A meeting for conversation.
Wow.
Especially about art, literature, or science.
Okay. Seeing
Don't
how
worry.
it's spelled, that kind of makes sense, because it's a conversation zone. Ugh.
Did you know writer Horace Walpole used conversation in a 1739 letter in which he writes, after the play we were introduced to the assembly, which they call the conversation.
Uh-huh.
As this Italian borrowing was used through the years, it gained nuances of meaning. In Italy, it generally referred to a gathering for conversation, but in England it began to be used more for a private meeting. By the 19th century, conversation was also referred to assemblies and soirees of people connected with the arts or sciences. The word has two plural forms in English, conversaciones, and conversationi.
So kind of Italian.
Yeah.
Did you know that spaghetti-o is the plural and spaghetti is... No, I have that backwards.
Yes, you do. Spaghetti is plural. Spaghetto is single.
Right.
Spaghetto.
It's weird.
You said spaghetti-o.
Oh, I did. I was going to ask you, so what the hell is a spaghetti-o? Wow.
It's plural and singular at the same time.
Right. My mouth got it. Nope. My brain got ahead of my mouth. Nope. Yeah. Nope.
We're nerds. You're nerds.
Listen, I'm tired.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that is the end of episode 6.
Yep.
So
Tell them where they can find us, babe.
So
Everywhere.
yeah.
On Instagram, Twitter,
She's got to think about it. Hold on.
Facebook, and TikTok. We are This and That with Me and You, or at TATWMAY. One, I
Maybe?
think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at
You'll
that.
find us. It's
Yeah.
This and That with Me and You.
Yep.
And our email is tatwmay1@gmail.com.
And you can now find our podcast. Please tell anyone and everyone. You can literally find it anywhere you find podcasts, except for Apple, because it doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Maybe because
My Samsung makes me happy.
damn straight. So I do have an update on the social media side and where you can watch, find, quote unquote, our podcast. We have started making, I guess you would call them advertisements for each episode. It's a minor synopsis. We have them on TikTok, releasing right around the same time as the
episode airs.
Yeah. Just kind of a little quib out there for everybody to look at.
But they're on YouTube now.
They are on YouTube now as YouTube Shorts. And I discovered recently how to convert the audio file to a platform that YouTube would accept. So I will, in the coming days, maybe coming weeks, have figured out how to put all of these audio files on YouTube so you can watch, quote, listen. I don't know.
Because we're not filming.
We're not filming, not yet. If we get big enough, maybe we'll start. So that is where you can find us. And
Is this
and that
with
me,
and
you.
I love you.
I love you too. All right, that's our episode.
Okay, bye.
Bye.